we got to be accountable around here, right? I fucked up last night. I smoked some weed, which I don't want to do anymore. It made me sleep far too long. It made me a little unproductive today. I feel lethargic, a little cloudy. Yeah, so we're done smoking weed, man. Last night, you know, it was fun smoking some weed, watching a funny movie, hanging out with my brother, but really all it does is put you to sleep. I don't really feel the best. I've got a fucked up tooth, so I ate a bunch of junk food, now my tooth hurts. Just telling everybody, you know, you do what you want with your life. I'm not telling anybody not to smoke weed. I don't think you should smoke weed, though. I've been a chronic weed smoker for a long time. I've took some breaks, had mixed opinions about it, and lately I'm coming to the conclusion that I don't think it's something that the successful people do. Stop smoking the reefer. Anyway, we did day one in introducing to the SMART measurable attainable goals. Yesterday I forgot to go over day two because I'm new at this and I need to get a little bit more organized. I've got a lot to work on to make this stream great for you guys. This is the place that we all get together and we're going to build a future. We're going to build a community of people that all support each other. We're all going to learn how to make some money on the internet. The route that I want to go down making money on the internet is streaming with some donos questions. You know, I would like to grow into like a similar to the Fresh and Fit podcast or Pearly's podcast. We'll see what direction we end up taking as we keep moving here. But right now, the only goal that we have is to post consistently for 30 days straight and see what kind of yield we get back from that, what kind of feedback we get back from that. Maybe we might try to start changing the content. But for now, I'm just here to cause some shit. So anyway, today would be day 2 or day 3, but we're going to go over day 2 because I forgot to go over it with you guys. Day 1, if you don't remember day 1, setting goals, start SMART, attainable goals, SMART, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, identifying long-term and short-term goals, setting actions to achieve those goals. So that was day 1. If you don't remember that stream, or if you weren't around for it, you haven't seen the video, you can scroll back and I went over how I made my goals and how they're measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And it's just a good outline of how I think that you guys should be setting goals. So here it is with day 2. We're identifying areas of improvement. So assessing strengths and weaknesses. So in my own life here, I'm a fairly strong individual, you know what I mean? I can stay on track. I can work all day, every day. I can stay focused. But one of the biggest weaknesses that I have is I fall victim to the influences around me. So if I have people around me that start drinking or partying or smoking or whatever, I tend to let that influence me, and typically that's how I end up making mistakes. And then also part of day 2 of the course that we built here is identifying areas for personal growth. So I need to work on my health, fitness. I obviously need to get my money up. My whole life needs to be put back together right now, and I feel like that's the case with the vast majority of people. I think almost everybody that thinks they're doing okay is in a situation like mine, or if not worse. And they think that they're doing okay because they're doing better than other people around them. Like, don't get me wrong, man. I've had a good job. I've made decent money. I've got money saved up to a certain degree. I'm not struggling to pay the bills. I've got some debt I got to deal with, of course, you know. I'm not a drug addict. I don't waste my time. But you know what? I am not a really high caliber man yet. I am not fucking perfect. I am not the guy I want to be. I don't have the body I want. I don't have the income that I want to have. I don't drive the vehicle that I want to have. I do love Erin. She's great, but I don't have the relationship dynamic that I'm looking for, at least yet. You know, who knows, she could end up being the girl. Great girl, could be around for a very long time, but as of right now, you know what I mean, I got so much going on in my life and she's got her life to figure out. So I don't know where life's gonna go, but you know, we could grow into having the right relationship. I gotta work on a ton in my life, a ton. And right now we're going to start with starting to build our own community and doing the things that we're looking to do with our life and stay consistent all day, every day. Make God proud of us. I'm sorry, my tooth is hurting a little bit today. I had to take a fucking couple perks, so I'm a little bit loopy. I don't know how good this video is going to be, but hopefully we got some content out of it. So that would be day 2. Today is Tuesday, February the 7th. So on February the 10th, which would be Friday, we're going to start a new segment called The First 26. For the next 26 days, I'm going to be giving you guys an insight of the 26 lessons that I've learned in my life. And then after those 26 days, then we're going to do the first 26 and we're going to tell stories about the things that had happened in my life. Maybe we'll merge them together a little bit. I'm working on the creative for it. But stay tuned. That's going to be a sick one. I don't know if you guys watched the Grammys last night at all. I didn't, because I don't watch that shit, but this has been all over social media to some degree, and I watched Sneako's video yesterday where he was talking about it, so I just wanted to address it myself. So let's watch this performance and give you guys a little bit of my take on it. Let's see what Piers Morgan has to say about it. I mean, I don't know where everybody's view is on Piers Morgan, but I kind of like Piers Morgan. I really do, and I think he's not a terrible guy.
Identities, but last night's Grammys, they, as Smith now prefers to be called, identified as Satan. The performance riled many viewers, especially amongst the American Christian fraternity, which there are 210 million in America. Senator Ted Cruz said it was evil. Well, one of the scariest moments for me wasn't Sam Smith as the devil. It came with Madonna's general appearance. She seemed not to have got the memo that Halloween's in October. But are they, Sam Smith, pushing artistic boundaries or just pushing the limits of good taste? Shocking for the sake of it, outraging because why not? It sells records. Well, joining me now to debate all this, it's Madston Rowan, who performs as Tripping Jupiter, and the YouTuber and commentator Lauren Chen. So Lauren Chen, let's start with you. I mean, it's caused outrage, this Sam Smith.
Okay, real quick though. So we're having this discussion right now. This person we have on the left obviously looks like a they, them fucking opinionated person, and to me, probably isn't making God proud. So before I even hear what comes out of this person's mouth, I can already tell what they probably think and who the fuck they are. I don't think it's a good thing. This person on the right, she's beautiful. I probably can't tell you exactly who she is, but I'm going to guess that she has a religious background and that's what she likes to devote her life to.
Smith's performance last night, he'll be quite pleased about that because quite clearly, a bit like Madonna, his heroine, part of his shtick is deliberately creating outrage because it fuels interest and headlines and sells records.
No, you're absolutely right. And people have said that this is a controversial move by Sam Smith. This is not at all controversial within Hollywood. And I want to be clear that Sam Smith did this specifically to upset the American right and Christians everywhere and to virtue signal to his fellow Hollywood members and elitists that don't worry, he's on your team. He hates all of the things that he's supposed to hate. If he actually wanted to be controversial in Hollywood, what he would do is actually come out in favor of traditional values, because we know that would never happen in a million years. Or he would, heaven forbid, actually do something that's critical of maybe Islam. That would genuinely be controversy, but of course, because that wouldn't be popular among leftist elitists, he's not going to do that. This is actually, in a lot of ways, the safest thing that Sam Smith could have done.
Yeah, I mean, now, Tripping Jupiter, do I call you Tripping Jupiter or Madston? Which one would you prefer?
You could call me Madston.
Madston, thank you for being on the programme. This reminds me a bit of the Met Gala in New York, when they all suddenly wore crucifixes one year. And as a Catholic, I read a column saying, you know what? You wouldn't be doing this to the Islam religion. Why would you just do it to Catholicism and to Christianity? And that reminded me again exactly what Lauren said about last night. Yeah, you can dress up as Satan and prance about having a bit of devil worshipping just to deliberately outrage 63% of Americans who are Christians. But given he wouldn't do that with other religions which are likely to lead to more serious repercussions for him, I thought it was a bit cowardly, if I'm honest.
I mean, I don't think there's anything cowardly about Sam Smith. And, you know, if Lauren's suggesting that they are doing this just for publicity as far as, like, their identity goes, I mean, people struggle their entire lives with identity, and the fact that they can come to a place where they feel secure enough to let it out in the public is an amazing thing and a beautiful thing and a really important thing. As far as the red glitter hat with the devil horns, and I'm sorry, Ted Cruz, if anyone looks at Sam Smith and thinks the word evil, I think that they might frighten a little too easily. As far as the Catholic Church goes, what? I mean, I can't think of a better...
This fucking guy is dressed in as Satan, and his song is all about being unholy. And he's going to say that this isn't a good representation of being evil? Then what the fuck is? Can you please give me an example of what a good example of evil would be? Can you give me some sort of guideline of where you think evil starts and evil stops? Wow!
You know, religion to criticize or to tweak, or because, I mean, there's like decades and decades of child sexual abuse that got covered up. So they don't really have a right to stand out and be outraged when they
No, but there are also
decades.
There are decades and decades of Islamic fundamentalist terrorism. And the point that Lauren was making, I think rather powerfully, was that you wouldn't get Sam Smith mocking Islam in a performance.
Yeah, but we're here
at
to
the
talk about
Grammys
gender,
because,
not
again, I mean, you wouldn't say it's cowardly. I'd say that is an example of kind of cowardice because we all know he wouldn't do that. And what he did last night, I'd say I think he called what they did last night was a deliberate act of provocation to a group of people who represent nearly 2/3 of America. And I find that an interesting strategic decision. You know, this is somebody who wants to sell records in America. You know, it's a risky strategy to take on that number of Christians and mock their religion in that way.
Well, I don't think anybody's religion was mocked at all. And this album by Sam Smith it's phenomenal. It's got really positive messaging to it. But like, if you're going to talk about artists pushing boundaries, this is what great artists do. You go back to David Bowie. He was attacked and vilified when he burst onto the scene. Lady Gaga, over a dozen years ago or more, coming out, same thing. You could go back to, I mean, so are you going to tell me you don't like David Bowie? You don't like Lady Gaga because people were unhappy? And the interesting thing is with these icons, go back to Katharine Hepburn, right? When she was doing movies, she wore pants and people freaked out. The detractors who push against people who push gender boundaries, nobody remembers their names years later.
Well, I think the problem, I'll come back to
Hepburn.
Lauren, but the problem I have with Sam Smith is that they can't seem to work out what they are. So we went through a period where he was identifying apparently as a straight man, then he came out as gay and everyone was applauded. And then within, I think, 18 months, he decided he wasn't a gay man anymore. He was going to be non-binary, gender fluid, and wanted to be called they. It's quite hard to keep up, Lauren Chen, not to be disrespectful to they, but it is hard to keep up with Sam Smith because every 18 months or so he seems to, like a chameleon, flip into some other new identity. So,
well, that's the thing too. Like, fucking, how does this all start working? You can just change your pronouns every day. Like, I gotta respect what your decisions are every day. It's really hard because I'm a man that's trying to say, and I try to teach the people around me, including Aaron and Mark and my mom, everybody that's around me. I try to teach them, like, you need to stay congruent with what you say. If you say you believe something, then you need to stay on that belief. If you say that you think this or you think people should act like this, you should stay true to your word. If I was to come out gay, I definitely wouldn't fucking retract the statement. But on that note, can I identify as black? Can I identify as whatever I'd like to identify? Or because I'm a white straight male that's not becoming a female or gay, is that an issue? What if I want to identify as a billionaire? Like, are you guys going to give me money? I don't know. This is all ridiculous.
and then we have to respect those titles that they now want.
No, you're absolutely right, and it's interesting because I was looking back to interviews when Sam Smith first came out as gay, and he actually back then would say things along the lines of, there's more to me than my sexuality, I just want this to be normalized, this shouldn't be a whole thing, which, I mean, by today's 2023 standards, that almost makes him sound like a right-wing extremist, the idea that his sexuality shouldn't define himself. But fast forward to today, apparently he's gotten the memo that the trendy thing is to come out as some sort of trendy new gender every other day, and I just want to say in regard to...
But yeah, she's killing it right there. Like, what, are we just supposed to go along with the trends every day? Like, I'm trying to break the internet right now. Like, what, should I just start coming out as new things every day? Start a controversy? Or what? How do I do it? Because I know if I go the Andrew Tate route, if I start telling young men to be good young men, I'll probably just get fucking canceled. You know, if I start telling truths like fucking women can't drive, next thing you know, I'm a fucking misogynist. Like, I love women. I got no problem with women. I would like a fucking fairly traditional girl myself. And I wouldn't mind. You know, one thing that I can say real quick that Andrew hits the fucking nail on the head with is women are slow during pregnancy. Like, when I want to start having children, I want to have fucking 5 children within the course of 2 years. I can't do that with one woman. Who knows if I ever get the opportunity to do that. Like, let's see how fucking successful I do make it. I think I'm going to be there. You wait, you'll see a year. Watch for a year from now. You'll see where the fuck I make it. I don't know. It's just crazy, man. You know, I could go change my pronouns every day and be accepted. But if I was to, when I come on here and I talk about how men should be better men, how men should be improved, I can get demonized for that, which is just crazy.
To Sam Smith dressing as the devil, that's not part of your identity. Your fashion choices are not part of your identity. Sam Smith deciding to, in his music video, wear a corset doesn't mean he's non-binary. All it means is that he's desperate for attention, has absolutely no sense of fashion,
Well,
and
also,
probably doesn't have good friends around him.
Right, and talking of people desperate for attention, Maston, I just want to show you Madonna's head at the Grammys. And I just wonder, is this an example, when you look at Madonna at the Grammys last night, of where plastic surgery takes you if you're not very careful?
What's going on?
If you're asking me, I'm not an expert on plastic surgery, so I prefer to go back to Lauren's comment. I just have a question for both of you.
Have we got the picture
Why-
of Madonna? Sorry, there we are, yeah. Sorry, yeah, go on, Maston.
Well, I wish her well. She's an icon. She's done great things in music and influenced a lot of people. My question is, why are conservatives, the ultra-conservatives especially, the only ones who are obsessed with what people wear, obsessed with how people identify, and obsessed
You know what,
with other
Maston?
people's
We've run out
genitals?
of time, but I can answer one
course
question.
you
I'm not a conservative. So if that helps you, that will help with debate.
Conservatives aren't the
Lauren,
ones passing laws
Maston,
over
great
what
to have
people
you
are
both. Come back again soon.
Yeah, Pierce does want to keep talking to them.